The self-help domain is a very tricky business. I personally am very picky when it comes to choosing a self-help book. Hey you beautiful people, welcome back to a new video on our channel Read Travel Become. I have recommended self-help books before, and while recommending and while reading self-help books, I remain very cautious. I'm not afraid to say this, but a lot of self-help books out there are very generic in nature. The writing is such that they make you feel good about your life, they make you feel motivated, but that motivation stays for a very brief amount of time. It's not long term. Most of the books are rolled out like that. Whenever it comes to choosing a self-help book, it's very important to choose a book which will make you question your own thinking, which would make you question your own belief system. The book should be backed up by credibility, backed up by data, and basically it should make you think. So I have recommended some very good self-help books before on this channel also, and in this video I'm going to recommend 5 more self-help books which are extremely credible and which definitely will make you think. And I promise you, none of these books are those generic self-help books which would make you feel good and not help you in the long term. So make sure you watch the video till the end. You may never know which thought or fact may resonate with you and change the course of your life. So let's get started. The first book on the list is Originals by Adam Grant. The title of the book also says How Non-Conformists Change the World. So this book talks about this specific term, originals. Who are those outliers? Who are those people who get out of the way and become successful? There's a very interesting ideology which the author has shared in this book. He says that all of our perception is a person who is successful has taken a lot of risks in life. They have been this iconoclasts and they have been these mavericks who have taken great risks. They have just thought about their idea, thought about their pursuit, thought about their passion, and just went ahead with it blindly. But the author has given us facts and figures as to how these people, these iconoclasts, were actually very cautious of what they were doing, and they were actually very good risk mitigators. For example, he has talked about examples like that of Bill Gates. Bill Gates had dropped out of his college to pursue his idea of starting Microsoft. But in that period of time, he was on a leave of absence. He was not leaving, he was not letting go of the college. He was actually planning to have a leave of absence so that he could continue even if Microsoft wouldn't have worked. He had a backup plan for each and everything, and he had planned everything really well. Adam Grant is a master storyteller. He has given out some great examples to reiterate this fact that it's not about blindly going about in any direction. It's all about prioritizing your things and prioritizing your risks. I resonated with one particular ideology a lot about following your passion project. He talks about only when you have a steady income, a steady balanced life, that you can give out efforts to your passion project also. Let's say, so YouTube is like my passion project. I'm not doing full-time YouTube. I bring out more content. I bring out innovative content, creative content only when I know that I have that freedom to do anything I want. Only then my creativity comes out, because I had a steady job. He had given out lots of examples where people actually had steady jobs by the day and they were doing creative work as their side, and once the creative work blew up, they migrated into the creative world. So the bottom line here is, it's not just going blindly behind any passion you follow, it's about mitigating risks. So in this way, Originals by Adam Grant is a brilliant read, and this book will definitely stay with you for a really long period of time whenever you have to make these decisions so as to what ideology you want to go ahead with. The next self-help book on the list is The Power of Now. Again, a brilliant read. I just love this book. I remember reading this long time back, but after that, even whenever I feel low, whenever I feel demotivated, or not demotivated is not the right word, I feel that things are not going anywhere and I think a lot about future or my past, I pick up this book and read some pages. Even if you read like 5 pages or 10 pages per day, every day, you think a lot about being present in your life. The author talks about the power of now, the power of what is happening right now. For example, now that I'm shooting this video, now that the camera is in front of me, I'm just thinking about this camera right now and what I have to say. I'm not thinking about what was going on before this event or what will happen after this event. I'm not at all thinking about what is going to happen when I release the video or how will you guys react. Right now I just see a camera here, and I'm in a flow state with my camera. That is the power of now. Especially if you're a performer, when you're performing, when you're doing some kind of an art on stage, you just are present in the moment. The author talks about that particular moment, that particular feeling which you get, that should be there in a large amount of your time, in most of your day-to-day activities. He has given out some tips and tricks to avoid bad thoughts, to avoid those negative thoughts. He says that you don't have to just stop those thoughts, you don't have to just negate all of those thoughts. You have to let them come to you and be aware of those thoughts. He says that once you be aware of those thoughts, once you shed light on those thoughts, these thoughts automatically go away. Whenever a negative thought comes, don't think, okay, I don't want this thought. Let that thought come in and be aware that you are having negative thoughts. They will disappear suddenly. It's like a magic thing which he has written in the book, which I resonate with a lot, and I believe all of the words he said are really implementable. All of the tips and tricks he has given to be in the present. I just love this book. You should definitely pick up this book. One of the best self-help books ever written, according to me. Next book on the list is actually a very practical book. It's not at all a motivational or a kind of a generic book. It's called 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. You might have heard. I also have Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. He is an amazing guy. He's just a rock star. In 4-Hour Work Week also, it's a very contemporary book. First of all, it is very relevant to these times where we have a digital boom, where we can work from home, work from a place where we are not physically present. So he talks about how you can optimize all of your workings and work just 4 hours a week to earn a lot of money. He has talked about everything in terms of monetary compensations. Mind you, he's talked more about how to be very decluttered and earn money also. He's of an ideology that even while you're sleeping, you should be able to make money. You should not work for money, money should work for you. So he has given out some tips and tricks of outsourcing your work, delegating your work, which I really like. I always read some of the chapters. He has given out some websites, some tools which you can follow. It's one of the best reads if you are a content creator or if you are an artist, especially if you're using your passion project as your main hustle, then this book is definitely a go-to read for you. This book is a must read for you. Most of you might have heard about it. It's a very popular book. Lots of booktubers recommend it. Even I feel I should delegate my work sometimes, and I'm planning to actually build a team. It's being a lot of work actually to film everything on my own, script everything, edit everything. All of my time goes into doing everything. I'm like a lone wolf right now, but I've realized that delegating your work actually helps your creativity more and gives you more time to be more innovative and creative. So yeah, you can definitely pick up 4-Hour Work Week. Next book on the list is called Courage to be Disliked. I got to know about this book from Daksh. Daksh also runs a channel and he recommends some solid books. So I got to learn about this book from Daksh and I read it, and it was, I would say this book made me think a lot, because the ideology, the principles which are written in this book are, very hard hitting. First of all, the book talks about Adler's philosophy in a form of a narrative. So the narrative of the book is such that a philosopher and a youth are talking. So it's just a dialogue between these two people. Many of the books are written in this format, but this specific book is about Adler's philosophy. Now, who was Adler? If you have followed philosophy, you might be knowing about Freud and Jung, and he was actually a member of that society of philosophers, but he had a different identity of his own. It is said that his principles were way ahead of its time, but they are very relevant now. He used to train under Freud and Jung, but he had some discussions with him where they did not match. He was totally opposite of what Freud had suggested. Now, what I like about this book is the youth represents all of us, the generic mentality which people have, and the philosopher is actually telling you, actually teaching you, preaching you that where you are wrong. And the conversation is in such a format that the youth says that, okay, this is the thing, this is how it is supposed to be, and he gives some very good arguments as to why we live, how we live. But the philosopher has a brilliant way of explaining the philosophy to this youth. So that is why I like reading this book. It's an easy language, not very difficult. Otherwise, you feel philosophy is something which seems to be very heavy, but this book is not very heavy, and it will make you think. That is the core purpose of this book. It will make you think, and the more you ask questions, the more you give yourself that room to ask more and more questions, is the day you start learning, is the day you start growing, and this book will definitely help you with that. The next book on the list is again a book by Adam Grant. So this is one of those times when you read about an author, when you read an author's work and you want to know more about what this author has to say. This is just what happened after reading Originals. I was super impressed with Adam Grant's writing, and because now I'm studying academia also, I know the importance of the research which goes into making these books and printing these books. Adam Grant is a professor of organizational psychology, business psychology at Wharton, which is the MBA school, the business school of Pennsylvania, University of Pennsylvania, which is like a top MBA program, and Adam Grant is the professor there. So his ideas are backed up by data, backed up by solid data, and he has a very good way of explaining things which are very relevant. He gives out contemporary examples, mind you, which resonate with us a lot, right? So I wanted to read more of Adam Grant's work. I have read around 60%, 70% of this book. I haven't completed it. The book is called Think Again by Adam Grant. It's a new book. It was released very recently. And again, this book is also an eye-opener. It talks about how in today's times, in the contemporary times, you should have the power of reimagining things, unlearning things, and learning new things. You have to have an open mind. Things are changing so rapidly. We live in a time where things are changing exponentially. You never know which technology is going to come tomorrow, which technology is going to be outdated. And if you are a person who sticks to some philosophy that this is me, this is my core belief, you are never going to survive. The author has given many examples of BlackBerry, Nokia, many good examples, and there's this one particular story by which he starts the book. Actually, look out for that story. It's very inspirational, and the matchstick here I think symbolizes that story. It's about a group of firefighters. I wouldn't spoil it for you. You should read that story. It perfectly summarizes the entire book, that how you should have the power of rethinking, and it's never about what you are as a person. You are always capable of revamping all your belief systems and becoming a new person, actually. So I would definitely recommend reading Adam Grant, any of his work. Actually, I'm really looking forward to read more of his work. I'm becoming a fan of his. I don't know why. His writing is very fresh and contemporary, maybe because of that. And I also started following him on Twitter, where he gives out these little nuggets of wisdom, and in a form of a curated content. You can follow me on Twitter as well. I've started putting little bit whatever I'm learning on Twitter as well, so I'll put the link down. You can check it out. Twitter seems to be fun. That's all for this video, guys. There are many great books out there which I haven't mentioned. Almanac of Naval Ravikant is another one of my favorites, but I had recommended it a lot of times, so I thought let's just take a pause. And these books are very contemporary in nature, and I feel self-help books are not here to complete. You can take your own time. Even if you read like 10 pages of any of these books every day, it's more than enough. Those 10 pages would stay with you for the entire day and will give you a different perspective to think about. So yeah, I hope you found value in this video, and thank you so much for all the love and support that you have given me. Thank you so much for watching this video till here. Do like the video and comment down below what your thoughts are, and also subscribe to my channel. I get really motivated when I see all your love and support. So yeah, that's all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.